Hi bowl bakers, we are in the throes of baking season, my favorite time, and the holidays are just around the corner. So a must for your bold baking repertoire is a dinner roll recipe. Now these are really amazing because you can make them from scratch and get them into the oven in just 60 minutes. They're really fast. As always, the recipe can be found on biggerbolderbaking.com. So for this recipe, because we need to be nice and fast, I'm using my stand mixer. However, you can do it by hand, but just note it will take longer. So into my mixer, I'm going to put in my white flour. Now, just so you know, you can do half whole wheat and half white, and that will work really well too. Next, I'm going to add in a little bit of sugar because yeast loves sugar and it needs it to live and to thrive. I'm going to add in a little bit of salt for flavor. And then of course my yeast. Now I use instant yeast, but you can use active dried yeast. Anything will work really well. Now all I'm going to do is just turn this on and let these ingredients mix well together. Make sure that the yeast is all the way throughout before we add in more ingredients. Okay, so that's all mixed up. Here I have a little bit of softened butter. Butter really makes a difference to this dough. It makes it softer and it makes it richer, so it's really nice. Just make sure it's nice and at room temperature. Just add that in there. And then turn on the machine and just let this break up on the machine until it resembles kind of coarse breadcrumbs. Bread dough really only needs a few ingredients, so it's actually super easy to make. So here I have some warmed milk. You can also use water, however, the milk makes it a little bit richer, so I use full fat milk and it does make a bit of a difference. However, you want to use water, that's totally fine. While the machine is going, we're going to add in our milk. Now hold a little bit back. You don't want to add it all in at once, and I'll tell you why. You might need less liquid than I do, or you might need even more. So just always hold a little bit of liquid back when you're making a dough, and then we'll see in a few seconds if we need to add the rest. So now I'm seeing that my dough is still a little bit dry, so I have a splash of water here, and all I'm going to do is just pick up those dry bits around the dough. And when I mean splash, I'm talking 2 teaspoons, maybe a tablespoon, but this always happens when you make dough. You might need a little bit less liquid or even more liquid, so just have a little bit of water handy. And all we're going for is exactly this, is for the dough to come together and to clean the bowl. So we just want one big, lovely, tight lump of dough. Okay, perfect, this looks great. So now all I'm going to do is knead this on the machine for around 6 to 8 minutes or so on a medium speed. Okay, it's been a few minutes and our dough is done. I'm really happy with this. Number one, I know this is a gorgeous dough and I know you're going to love working with it. So for those of you who've been watching Bigger Bolder Baking for quite some time, you know my rule about doughs: a clean bowl and a ball of dough. This is exactly what we're going for. This is the perfect texture. So now we're going to proof our dough. Here I've got a bowl. I'm going to add in a little bit of olive oil and then just put your dough in there and roll it all the way around. This just really helps your dough proof. It just slides up the bowl so much easier. There we go, nice and coated. And then we're going to lay a piece of cling wrap over the top, nice and tight so that no air gets in at it. And then a nice tea towel over the top of it. So now here's the thing, we want to do this nice and fast because we only have an hour. So we're going to proof it for 20 minutes and I'm going to leave it on top of my stove, a little bit of a warmer part in your kitchen, just so it proofs extra fast. So it's been 20 minutes, here's my dough. It's looking good, it has puffed up. Don't worry if it doesn't get too big because you only have 20 minutes. But that nice time to rest will really make a difference. So I'm just going to turn my dough out onto my table and dust it with a little bit of flour to make it easy to work with. Now here's what we're going to do for this guy. I like to cut it down the middle, cut it in half, and you're going to end up with 2 logs. And then we're just going to shape those a little bit. And what we're going to do now is cut each log into 8 because this dough will give you 16 rolls. Just do them as evenly as you can. If you're going to weigh them, they're around 60 grams a roll. So here's my dough. Now I get a lot of questions about how do you shape a roll to get that lovely round shape. It's really, really easy, but somebody does have to show you how to do it, and I'm going to be that person. So just make sure there's not too much flour on your surface. You actually want it a little bit on the drier side or firmer side. You don't want it to be sliding around in flour. And then just shape your little piece of dough into a ball. Think of it like a little balloon and then just pierce together the bits at the end. So what you're going to do from here is just press it into the table and you'll feel that the roll underneath your hand starts to form a shape and kind of bounce back. That pressure against the table is actually shaping your roll. So there you go. As you can see, that's a lovely, beautiful round roll. There's a little bit of the seam there on the bottom, but don't worry about that, that'll disappear. So this is perfect. I'll do another one just so you get it for sure. So you just make it into a little ball, put the seams on the bottom, and then with your hand, press it into the table. This is the point where you don't want too much flour on your table. And then you feel it come together into a lovely little ball of dough, nice and smooth, tiny little seam on the bottom. This is perfect. Now, don't get me wrong, this does take technique and it does take practice. I've been doing this a long time, but just have at it and I guarantee you, you'll end up with lovely rolls. And when you get really experienced, you can do 2 at a time. So we have our rolls and let's get them onto our baking tray, but not any ordinary baking tray. I'm very excited to tell you that this is my brand new Bigger Bolder Baking bakeware. This is part of a set of 7 essential pieces of kitchen equipment that you will need that will have you baking with confidence in no time at all. You can buy this right now on biggerbolderbaking.com. And for those bakers out there, this makes a fantastic holiday gift. So line your new awesome baking tray with some parchment paper. And then we're going to place the rolls in rows 4 by 4. Now, the thing about these is that you want to put them close together because we're going to batch bake them. And what that means is they bake into each other and you get these lovely sides. So just put them kind of beside each other. So when they proof, they all come together. So those are looking good. So now cover this in cling wrap, nice and tight so no air gets at it. If I haven't mentioned already, dough doesn't like air, so you want to keep them nice and snug. And that's also the reason why I'm going to put this little towel on top also. Okay, lovely. So now one of the reasons we can keep this under an hour is because little rolls take less time to proof. So we're going to set these aside for around 20 minutes and let them get nice and big. Because we don't have a whole lot of time, what I do is I preheat my oven and then I put the tray on top so the heat coming up will proof them nice and fast. So let's come back to our rolls in 20 minutes. So our rolls have been proofing for 20 minutes. Now come here to me because I want to show you what they're supposed to look like. Carefully peel away the cling wrap and your towel. And then as you can see, they've puffed up beautifully. So these are looking great, they're the perfect size. I worked in a bakery when I first moved to the United States and one of my jobs was to proof the bread and to bake it. And one of my rules was they can be kissing, but they can't be making out. So just have them a little bit touching each other because when they go into the oven, they will rise even more into each other. You don't want them right on top of each other. So just give them that little bit of extra room. But these are looking fantastic. However, we're not going to stop here. We're not making just plain dinner rolls. Here I have some homemade garlic butter and all it is a bit of crushed garlic, some Kerrygold and a little bit of parsley in there. And I'm just going to generously brush each roll with this butter. Just imagine, you can probably smell it. Just imagine how great this is going to taste, garlic baked into freshly made bread. Just get all over the tops, a little bit down the side. Make sure you're nice and generous with it. Fantastic. Now you might have a little bit left over, that's good because we're going to put a little bit more on later too. But as for right now, these guys are ready to go into our oven. Bread loves a hot oven, so we're going to bake these guys at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius for roughly 20 to 25 minutes or until they're lovely golden brown. It's been 25 minutes, my kitchen smells amazing, so let's check on our rolls. So these guys look fantastic. They're lovely golden brown and they kind of puffed in together just like I wanted. They're batch baked. So this is absolutely perfect. Now while they're still warm, fresh out of the oven, I have some leftover garlic butter here and I'm just going to go ahead and glaze all of them again. This just adds a little bit of extra flavor. It also makes them nice and shiny. Okay, fantastic. These are gorgeous. Now the best thing about bread rolls is that you can enjoy them straight away and obviously they're going to be at their best coming straight out of the oven. So check this out, lovely, steaming hot, straight from the oven. Look how soft that bread is that we made in no time at all. And you can tell the texture is lovely, it's nice and airy, it's squishy in the middle. This is absolute perfection. This is the perfect dough for a dinner roll because it's soft, it's a little bit sweet, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And the best thing is, look at this. Because we buttered them in garlic butter, some butter gets onto the bottom of the rolls and bakes in, so it gives you a lovely, shiny, garlic buttery bottom. So like really, you can't go wrong. Oh my gosh, heaven. Like I said, they're garlicky, they're a little bit sweet, it's a rich, really soft dough. I know it's the turkey that's a big deal around the holidays, but I guarantee you if you make these guys, they might be the star of the show. Oh my gosh, and that crispy garlicky bottom, like seriously. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. As always, this recipe can be found on my website, and I'll see you back here really soon for more bigger, bolder baking.